Hi YouTube. First I want to thank my new and old subscribers for being here for me, and new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I haven't been doing too many hauls and that type of thing. I haven't been out shopping much. So I'm going to touch on some subjects, and I won't be doing it every week or nothing like that, but it will be ever so often. And some may be a little painful for me to talk about. And one is this subject that I am focused on is suicide. I'm going to start the story about suicide, and then I'm going to tell you why I decided to speak about this. When I was in my 20s, I was having a really rough time, and at the time I couldn't think of no way out but to take my own life. So I used to discuss it with people, and they would kind of laugh it off. They didn't really think I was serious about it. And I discussed it with my mother, and she was very understanding, and she was saying that you have a lot to live for. You have a little girl, and you have to live for her. And she also stressed about my faith in Jesus and everything, and how suicide is not the answer. So even though she was telling me about those things, I still had it on in the back of my mind that it was something that I was really thinking about. It was something that I had planned out how I was going to do it. So at the time, well, it happened in my 20s, and then it happened also in my 30s. And at the time, I was dating someone, and we broke off the relationship. Now, this is not the reason why I was thinking of taking my life. It was a lot of other things. So after me and this person, at the time I was dating this person, I used to discuss about suicide sometime, and I would say, life is just too hard. There's too many things going on, and I don't know if I want to be here. So he was saying, well, it don't make no sense for you to take your life. He said, I want to live to be 100 years old. And that stuck with me. And I was finding ways to cope with these feelings of wanting to commit suicide. And it wasn't, I had family around, but sometimes people are not taking you seriously when you say you want to kill yourself. And you feel all alone. So let me get further into the story. Me and this guy broke up, and we remained friends for 2 years. And I would call him every so often, and he would call me, and we just have, regular conversations. We were friends, and it seemed like everything was going fine in his life, but he wasn't married, so he would start talking a little bit about marriage. So he called me after that time, and he said, I want you to go with me to look at a house. And I said, no, I can't go. I said, I'm interested in someone right now, and I can't go. And right now, me and you are just friends, and we talk on the phone. So after that phone call, I didn't hear from this guy no more. So I happened to be going shopping, food shopping, and I ran into one of his family members. And she said, do you know, I'm not going to say the person's name, the guy, but you know so-and-so died? I said, what? He died? I said, how? I said, I didn't know anything about this. She said he killed himself. That thing threw me for a loop. I just couldn't believe that someone who wanted to live to be 100 would take their life. So she didn't go into a whole lot of detail because we were on our way in the store, and from time to time after that, I ran into another family member of his, and I said, "I'm so sorry to hear about your family member." And she said, "Yeah, well, things happen and that type of thing." So I didn't want the gory details of why this person killed himself and how and all. I heard a little bit about how. And all these years after this, I have been very puzzled about what would drive this person to do this. He had a child, and what would make you do this and, leave a child? Even though I have my experiences with wanting to kill myself, but I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, you have to really think about other people. When you're thinking about taking your life, you have to consider your family members. If you have children, you have to consider how they would feel to be without a father, mother, or sister, or brother, because you took your own life and you brought a whole lot of added stress to the family. And sometimes it's things that at the moment that we can't control, and we feel that it's the end of the world. And I urge you to really think, and if you're having these thoughts in your mind, make sure that you go and talk to someone about it. If you cannot talk to your family, get into a support group. Make sure that you talk to your friends. That way that there is someone there who can talk you out of this, because suicide is not a good thing. It rips families apart. If you have a child and no one is there to take the child, your child can end up in foster care, and it's just a horrible thing. And some kids are getting bullied in school. That's why they want to kill themselves. Some kids are going through things with their siblings. They're going through things with their parents. Sometimes it's issues that they cannot tell their parents that they're going through, and they feel that the mother and father won't understand. So I just want you to consider, not just, if you feel like killing yourself, definitely tell someone. Even if you think they don't care, make sure you tell someone and make it known that you're serious about it. And there are a lot of things that you can do to stop having these thoughts in your mind about taking your life. Maybe you need to change your environment. Maybe you need to get in contact with other people that have these experiences. A good thing that you could do is go to a support group for survivors of suicide and hear the stories that people tell about their family members who committed suicide, and you will see their feelings, and you will be able to understand the impact of what your decision will do to your whole entire family. And not just for a year or two, it's for many years to come. Often I think about the guy that I was friends with, and why? Why would you do this to yourself? And at the end of this video, I'm going to put the phone number to the suicide hotline, the national number, and that way you can have some kind of support, some kind of resource. Some people may not have a computer. A lot of people do now, but if you don't have a computer, consider getting yourself maybe a used computer, and that way you have a support system right at home. Even if you can't talk to your parents, you have other people that you can talk to online and connect with. And that can be a real great resource for you to take your mind off your problems. There are a lot of people out of work right now, and is driving them to have thoughts of not being able to make it in the world and being able to provide for their families, and they feel that they're not a good parent because maybe they're out of work. But I have heard of some people that have killed themselves, and maybe they were out of work, and maybe the next week a job comes through. When you have breath in your body, you have hope. And if you kill yourself, if the devil tricked you into killing yourself, you done gave up the promise of maybe a beautiful future. You don't know what tomorrow holds. Every day counts as a new adventure in life. And you just have to grab it by the horns and forge ahead, no matter what happens. I'm not going to say that I won't be touched by suicide in my life with, family members or anything. I'm not going to sit here and say that I won't be touched with those thoughts of suicide again. But what's keeping me from doing it is I have a daughter, mother, sister, and brother, and a grandchild, and my faith. And another thing is, you may feel that you want to kill yourself, but at some point you're going to want to live, and God may take some of those days away. You may be struck with sickness and a lot of things that could happen to you, and you may want to live one day. So just don't give up, and find someone to talk to, reach out to. If you're in danger of hurting yourself, call 911, and they will have someone to talk to you and talk things through. And if it's things that's going on at home, they can even help to relocate you somewhere else. So the reason why I touched on this subject is last week there was a person in my daughter's building who killed himself. And the impact that it's having just in that building alone is a lot. And it makes you wonder what he was thinking, what exactly was going on in his life that he would do that to himself. And I just pray for his family that they find peace, because this is definitely so. I will talk to you guys later, and love you all. Bye.